Hey guys, it's your girl Londyn, and today we are going to come and we're going to do a makeup look from a new gloriously colorful palette and see what we can come up with. So if you want to see the look that I come up with, then stick around because we're getting right into it. Okay guys, if you have seen one of my most recent videos, you would know that I got the Natasha Denona CIRCO LOCO palette. Again, how beautifully gorgeous is that palette? And this is the inside for reference one more time. So what we're going to do in today's video is we are going to do an eyeshadow look. Now I already have my base on. I already have my eyes set with the NYX Proof It. You guys know that is my #1 ride or die eyeshadow base. So we're going to kind of just go through and see what look we can come up with. And hopefully it suffices because I do have work today. So fingers crossed that although we are experimenting, that it does come out the way that we want it to. So the last look that I did in my previous video, I did the oranges, the turquoise, and a little bit of the kind of yellowy gold look. So I kind of want to go with something slightly different today. And I think actually what I want to start with is one color that I wasn't sure would actually be for me. And I think it's this cotton candy color. So that is that very light color. I know last time we talked about it, we had some feelings that we weren't quite sure that that was going to be a shade that could really suit melanated skin, and even mine, even though I am medium tan. We weren't really sure if that was going to set well with it. So I'm going to give this a go. I'm hoping that the lighting is well. It's very sunny out today, and due to the new setup from my computers from work, I'm not able to close my blinds down. So I'm hoping when I edit this that it is not too blown out or too bright. So let's go ahead and let's see. It is powdery. It is an eyeshadow. So let's go in here. I want to dab out my primer a little bit because it is having a little creases. Okay. Now I like this primer because it is sticky, but it dries down and it aids in making the shadows waterproof. So it is really good for the summertime, and when it starts to get hot and humid out. If you have oily lids or are walking around, it helps to keep your eyeshadow in place. So, okay, much as I expected. It is pretty. It is very light, of course. It is a pink pastel color. So I would not have expected anything different from it. But what I can say is that it is blending beautifully, and it's not, even though it has the white base, I know we talked about the Kat Von D Pastel Goth. That to me was more of a chalky white base. This to me seems like it's more of a creamy white base in that, yes, it's light, yes, it's pink, yes, it's white base, but it doesn't necessarily look ashy, nor is it kind of buffing away. So what I had noticed with other pastel palettes was that as soon as you put them on your eyes, not only are they a little ashy, but they tend to blend right away. And this is true, I found, for Colourpops, from Natasha Denona, not Natasha Denona, from Anastasia, that they will blend right away and then they're no longer on your lid. So I am pleasantly surprised to see that again, although this is a light pink, that it is actually showing up nicely. Okay, so it's a nice soft colored pink. Very good. All right. So let me just want to go in right here. Just get that a little more right there in that crease. And I think that it is actually really nice for kind of that first shadow to go in at. Right, very nice. So let's go ahead and let's take a look-see. So since we're kind of on this pink train, I think maybe we want to go in, Let's go in with the color Joker. Now, Joker is this deep pink here. Let's see. So we're going very stereotypical right now. Very pink on pink on pink. So we're going to see what this is. And I'm going in slightly light because I don't know kind of what kind of punch this is going to give me. And sometimes pinks can be a bit of a doozy. So I just want to lay this down and kind of get a feel for what it's giving me. But I know we talked last time and that these were not so much a punch in the face necessarily, and they very much so could be blown out. And I think when looking at this pink, I've seen this look very vibrant on people, but as I'm buffing it out, I really feel like that, considering that it looks like this in the pan, to be able to get it to buff out to that, I think is nice. Now, of course, that was just our first pass, but I think that that is nice that if you wanted to leave it there, so you just had more of a wash of pink rather than kind of like full force in your face, you know, type of pink, you could totally do that. And I think that this is very nice, especially because I have, you know, I'm living my best cheerleading dance team dreams right now. I think that this is giving me a very vibrant, youthful feel. So we're going to go in with some more. I'm going to start there in the center and then kind of buff out because I want to get a little bit more color right there in the center. And when I did take those shadows off my hands and off my eyes, there was residue, but there wasn't like a hardcore like stain. Like I used my face wipe, the makeup eraser, and it did really well with getting it off. And then I went in with a cleanser after I did my makeup eraser. And the only thing I had a bit of trouble with was the lower lash line, of course, because I'd had the turquoise in my lower lash line. So that took a little bit more finessing to get off. I did have a little bit of residue there this morning. But as far as the shadows on the actual eye, they did come off easier than anticipated, but they definitely, you know, were on there. So just a little FYI. So there is the kind of pinky looks. I'm really liking this. Okay, so let me just kind of blend just a little bit right there. Okay. All right. So what I want to do now is I want to go into my outer corner. And like I said, there's not a lot of deep shades in this outer corner. But what I do want to go in the outer corner with, I think, and we're going to give it a go. And I'm not sure how it's going to be. And this really could finagle the whole thing. But I think what we're going to do is this color Magic, which is this color purple, which did kind of seem a little patchy until we built it up yesterday, or when I did my previous video, which I did film it yesterday, but I don't know if you guys are going to see this like directly after that. But I want to go ahead and see kind of what we can do with this. I'm packing it on. It's looking pretty nice. So it's going to really be the buffing out piece. I think that is where we potentially could run into a little bit of a incident, you know. So let me go ahead and kind of give this brush a quick wipe because I want to make sure it has the least amount of product on it as possible. And then I just want to kind of come in here with circular motions to kind of give it a nice blend and kind of try to control it so that way it's not going to get patchy, because you know, purples definitely have the tendency to go awry on you, and are a little harder, to me at least, to control. So that is it blended, and that is it not blended. So when you blend it out, it does tend to get slightly more gray. So for me, I really feel like this purple probably would be, now I like it in the corner, it's fine, but I think that it might work best as like a liner or as a packed on lid shade, because I feel like when you buff it out, you're definitely going to get a little bit more of that kind of like gray-y type look, versus more of a kind of true grapey purple. So I don't know. Purples I know are formulated typically with a black underbase. So sometimes when you buff them out, they will go a little black on you. This one is going slightly gray, so I don't know what that means. I don't know if it means that it's formulated with a black base, but just not as much of a black base as usual. And has a little bit more of a white base in it too. I'm not really sure what that means. I don't manufacture or formulate makeup, so this is just me kind of trying to figure out as I do it. So do a little bit more right here. But like I said, I think that this is pretty. I'm really liking the way the look is coming together. I'm really thinking the look is very pretty, but again, it's not going to still be punchy in the outer corner. It is kind of giving you that gray vibe. So really you just have to decide what it is that you're going for in a look. But I would say that I do actually really like that. So what I usually do is, once I get to this point, I will just take another brush that is clean. It's my favorite brush. It is one of my favorite Morphe brushes from the Jaclyn Hill collection. I do not seem to have it in here, which is a total bummer. So we're just going to take this one. This is not the one that I typically use, but we're just going to take it. And I just kind of go over the edges just to ensure that we don't have anything that's looking too harsh, and that we're making sure that things are staying soft looking and kind of where we want them to be at. So there's that. So what we're going to do next is we're going to get into the lid shade. So the lid shade, I really, really, really want to do, I think I'm gonna do a combo. So I think I'm gonna do the Aerialist, which is this kind of like silver purple. I'm gonna do that in the first third. And then I think I'm going to, oh, you know what? No. I'm going to do Razzle Dazzle, which is this metallic pink right here. I'm going to use this all over the lid. And then I'm going to use Aerialist in my inner corner. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do too much with the kind of section off the lid. I'm just going to go in. So this is the color Razzle Dazzle, guys. That is razzling and dazzling me, let me tell you. So let's go ahead and get this. Oh my gosh, guys. That is absolutely beautiful. Want to just overlap that purple a little bit. You guys know that I do take my shimmers, metallics up into my crease because I have hooded eyes. And if I don't, it's going to naturally migrate up there anyway. And I would like to place it there and have it look like I purposely did that, rather than have it go there on its own and kind of end up potentially looking haphazard. So I'm actually pleasantly surprised with this color combo that we came up with. I wasn't really sure necessarily how it was going to look, but I have to say I do like it, and I really love this color Razzle Dazzle. This is a beautiful kind of pink magenta. And then, of course, because my little phalanges are slightly too big to get into the corner, I just take a smaller brush, and I'm going back into Razzle Dazzle. We're just going to come down here and ensure that we got some continuity on the eye. I really, really, really am liking this a lot. Make sure it's where I want it to be at. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the brush that we did the outer corner in purple in. It has no extra product on it, but I just want to go over that kind of line of demarcation between the Razzle Dazzle and the purple and kind of create a shimmery little line, because without that you can definitely see where the two are laid next to each other, but it doesn't look smooth and seamless. So I'm kind of dragging a bit of the color over into the purple, just so that way it looks more seamless and has more of a transition than what it kind of previously had. And I just want to notate that I'm not getting any fallout underneath my eyes. So for me, that is not happening, and that is good. So see, it looks a little better now. We're going to go back in and we're going to take our brush that has no product on it, and now we're going to buff over the crease and where we have the metallic, because what we don't want is a hard line of the metallic. We want it to be kind of blown out, smooth and blended. And so this is, if you don't like shimmer or glitters or metallics in your crease, this probably is not a technique that you would want to use. But because I do bring it into my crease, again, because I have those hooded eyelids, it is important that I blend it out so that way it doesn't look like there's this harsh line, but now it does look like there's shimmer in my crease, which is fine for me because I don't mind that. And I'm feeling very gem right now. Yes, so I'm here for it. I'm loving it. Let's go ahead and let's work on the lower lash line. So again, let's kind of take this small brush that we use for getting the rest of Razzle Dazzle on the eye. And I think for the lower lash line, what we're going to do is I think we're going to go into Act. And Act is the purple, but it is the metallic purple. So instead of being the matte purple that we used in the outer, we're going to go in with the metallic purple. I think we're just going to see what we can do on the lower lash line with this, keeping it very close. And I think that this is nice because although it looks matte when you put it up close to your eye like this, when you look up close, you can definitely tell that it has a little bit of shimmer to it, and I like that because I feel like it gives it just a little bit of punch, a little bit of something. And we're only going about a little over a third of the way in because we are going to do our we're also going to do our inner corner. We're going to bring our inner corner down onto there. So I really, really like that a lot. Now let's go ahead, let's go into the inner corner. So with the inner corner, we're going to use the same brush. Like I said, we're going to go in with Aerialist, which is kind of that silver purple. I'm going to put that right here. And that is just so, so freaking pretty. So that is so pretty. And we're going to bring Aerialist down and just connect it. Just like this. So again, in the inner corner. And we're going to bring it down. Bring it up. Because I don't like my inner corners to just look like boogers. We did get a little bit of it here. So we're going to go back in with some Razzle Dazzle. Just cover that up right there. Very nice. Cool, cool. And then we're going to finish blending this out. Because I do like the inner corner to have a blended look to it. I don't like it to look like it is just a shimmer booger on the eye. So I like it to look like a part of the eye look. So really what I do is a big inner C kind of. But I tend to like the way that that looks when it is like that. So that is our look. We do not have a brow bone highlight, but we used the color Joker, the color Cotton Candy. We used the color Act, the color Aerialist, and the color Magic, and Razzle Dazzle. So I think that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So again, we used 6 colors. So we used a lot of colors. At this point, I think we only have, I don't know, 2 or 3 colors that we haven't used in the palette. And so far, I can say that I think that, you know, as long as you manage expectations, these are really working beautifully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the rest of my eye. I'm going to do some liner. I'm going to do some mascara. And then I'm going to come back. We're going to look at it and we're going to see what the finished look looks like. So give me 1 second and I will be right back with you guys. Alright guys, so we are back. I have the rest of my eye look finished, and what I did was I used the Colourpop liner in the color Why Not, and so it was just a wine color for the upper lash line, and that is because I thought black would be a little too much. This is more subtle, but I didn't want it to be as subtle as brown. So it's just, you know, keeping kind of with the theme that we have going on. On the lower lash line, I use the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in Voodoo just to kind of amp up that purple. It's so pretty. It's kind of like a metallic purple itself. On the lashes, I use my all-time favorite mascara, which is the Kosas Big Clean Mascara. I have to get another one. This one is getting worn out, girl. But I just love how it gives you such a pretty look with the eyelashes without having to do falsies. Because although I like a good falsie, I don't always want to wear them. So I really love this mascara. And on the bottom lashes, I literally use Clinique's Bottom Lash Mascara. That's exactly what it's called. Just to kind of amp up the bottom lashes, especially with a look that is as colorful as this. I feel like it really needs that to kind of ground it. Sorry, I just hit my mic. So this is the look. Let me go in a little closer so you guys can see. I really have to say that I am enjoying it, that I like it, and I think that it came out very pretty. So I'm very excited about this palette. Like I said, I've already done 2 looks, and with each look I've used about 6 shadows, and I think that the colors have really blended nicely together. They play well together, and again, we didn't use any grounding browns, tans, creams, none of that. I think we still came out with a very beautiful look. So I think that this palette definitely can be everyday use for anybody who wants to use it, or it can be that punch of color if you want to use it with a more neutral palette. But I do think that it is very versatile, and the more that I play with it, the more that I am realizing that. So I'm very excited to see what other looks that I can create. So guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know if you like the look below. Let me know what looks you've created. Let me know what looks you would like me to continue to create. Let me know if you're going to get the palette. It is $129 for 15 shades. This is not one of her midi palettes. This is one of her larger palettes, but not the largest palette, so it is $129. The Sephora sale is getting ready to come up. I believe April 6th or April 9th, one of those 2 dates. So if you want to save some money on the palette, you can go ahead and wait for that. But I would recommend, if you wait, to check the date of the sale and to make sure that the moment the clock strikes 12 that you're on Sephora to purchase it, because I know a lot of people have this on their list, and if they can get a little bit of money off of it, they will take it. And I'm feeling like this is going to sell out on Sephora once the Sephora spring sale comes around. So if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified of all my new videos. Follow me over on Instagram at Londyn to see what I do when I'm not here with you on the YouTubes. And until next time, guys, I love you, I miss you, and I will see you on the flip side. I love you guys. Bye.